I grew up here in Shiloh since I was 1 year old. My parents came here in 1978, and all this area was completely empty. There was nothing around. It was a dream of them and 8 other families to find Ancient Shiloh and build it from the beginning. So many signs brought them to this place, and when they came here, they saw like nothing, but there were a few ancient buildings on top of the ground. And the Arabs called this place Khirbat Sayron, which sounds like Shiloh, and a verse from the Bible that describes the area. So with many other signs, they understood that they found the place, and they decided to build here the new Shiloh. But we were here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So no electricity, no water, no roads, no groceries, of course. So how did they manage? They brought like mobile homes, and once a week, truck with water came and put some water here, and we had to recycle every little drop so the next tank will come. And then for like groceries, a little truck went all the roads to Jerusalem to bring some stuff. So it was pretty tough, but they were very happy because they felt that 2,000 years we were waiting for this moment. 2,000 years, people of Israel all over the world are praying to come back to our homeland, to the Holy Land. And here we are in Shiloh, where the tabernacle, the Mishkan has been, and where Hannah prayed, so it was very exciting for everyone. And actually in my childhood went through reviewing the ancient city and developing the new city. So it's pretty fascinating because still today we see more and more things that are coming up the ground. They're digging here all the time, and we feel again and again like our forefathers coming up and saying hello from the ground.
So you, as a child, remember rationing out water and food and electricity.
So I was pretty young then, but that's how I grew up. The conditions here were very, very simple. We didn't have, supermarkets or every little thing. You had to go through all the roads to like the city to get some stuff.
Wow.
But for me, it was an amazing childhood. I remember one time when I was 4, they were digging here in the ancient city. And in the middle of the night, my father woke me up and he said, "Moriah, you have to come with me now. You can't miss this moment." And I'm sleeping in my bed. I don't know what that was for me, but my father insisted I can't miss the moment. So he took me out of bed and he brought me to the edge of the city here in Ancient Shiloh. And there I see many people talking and excited. And so I asked him, "Abba, what's happening? What is it all about?" And he told me they found the storage rooms of the Mishkan, the tabernacle.
Wow.
So I was like very excited. I mean, now I understand more what's all about. What happened is that summer they were digging here, a group of archaeologists, and they were digging through the whole summer. They found nice things, but not something very important. The last day of the dig, they found huge jars from the time of the Mishkan. These jars are called, they have a special name, they're called collar neck jars. And there's something that archaeologists know from all the studies, that only Am Yisrael used them, only the people of Israel, only in the time of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and the time of the Shoftim, same time. So it's always something very exciting. What happened here in Shiloh, that they didn't find one, they found another one, they found another one, they found more than 50 jars in the same area. Nowhere in Israel found so many jars in the same area. So archaeologists came here from all over, and they said this is a sign that many people came here, that these were probably the storage rooms of the tabernacle, where they held olive oil and wine for the use of the tabernacle. So Shmuel, that served here in the Mishkan, we could just imagine what he did. Eli, the high priest, probably told him, "Look, Shmuel, we're out of olive oil. Could you go to the storage room to bring some olive oil?" So I can imagine it's really reasonable that Shmuel touched the jars that we found that evening. So it was very important for my father for me to see these jars. So that's why he woke me up in the middle of the night.
That's mind-blowing. Yeah, we were walking around the site, and we're touching the wall. This is what Shula touched, maybe our star.
Yeah.
You're like, these are actual, almost with certainty, Shmuel must have, used them or touched them or bought them. Eli probably said, "Oh, we're out of olive. Hey, Shmuel, can you get me some?" That's amazing. So you went up from basically being almost completely barren to now just driving up the road. There's advertisements, like a complete total shift. So, what's the feeling now? How you're living here, it's more developed versus when you were younger.
It's pretty amazing because I see the next generation. I see my kids that they continue the way. Now we're considered spoiled for them. We're like in the big village. We have 2 supermarkets here. It's like too much for them. So they go and live in farms, and that's the new way of protecting the land. They shepherd sheep, and they go all over the mountains by themselves. And they really get connected to the land. They feel the land of Israel. They live it. And
literal shepherd.
Yes, literal. Yes. Like my son goes with probably
a flock of sheep. Obviously.
Yeah, like 200 sheep by himself in the mountains, and he gets to know every little rock, and he loves the land. And
does he have
not only
shot?
him. What's
it?
You'll be surprised, but something like that. Yes.
Yeah. That's easy. So one of the things we talked about here today is that a fundamental way of doing prayer, tefillah, was from Chana.
Mm-hmm.
And as people might know or might not know, that there are certain parts of prayer, the main parts, that we pray silently. We move our lips, we say it very quietly so we can hear it just by ourselves. Has there been any connection you have with seeing Shiloh come up also with this prayer with Hannah or anything of that nature?
So I think one of the main reasons that my parents came here is because of the story of Hannah. Especially my father was always connected to that story, and after we were able to come to this area, so he had in his heart a dream to find Shiloh, to find the place where Hannah prayed. And what's amazing is that all the years that I live here and work here, I meet more and more people that come here and pray prayers, and the prayers are one after another. The prayers are fulfilled, and for children or for other things, and it's pretty amazing. My father is also, he had the privilege to plant here the first vineyard in the Shomron. And story, so it's an amazing story. This year, there was a woman that didn't have kids for many years, and the rabbi told her, you should go to Shiloh and plant a vineyard and go to where Hannah prayed and prayed for a child. Those 2 things will help you. So she called her friend to ask her if she knows anybody that is planting vineyards in Shiloh, and she knew my father. She called my father, and my father said, actually just this minute we're planting a vineyard. So he ran down with his ATV to the vineyard, and he saw that they planted everything besides 2 saplings. So he told them, please don't plant these 2 saplings. A couple is coming in and planting them. So she and her husband came, and they planted these 2 saplings, and they went to the place where Hannah prayed, and they prayed. Just 2 weeks ago, I got the news that she studied.
Wow. Yeah, that's an amazing story. You pretty much grew up in this trailblazing sort of life, literally digging up the history of our people. And I was discussing earlier in this episode how the way I see it was Yitzhak Yaakov, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. then there was Egypt, and then there's this big old gap, and then there's Yerushalayim until now. Right? That's generally how my mind was brought up. And since doing this, you really able to delve in and just unearth all this mass amounts of our people's history, and like monumental things like Kana, we till to this day are affected based on this history. So I'm imagining that you just, as you keep digging up and experiencing more and more of our history and getting these revealed understandings of it, you're getting these type of, I guess, miracles throughout and connecting the dots, and oh, this is similar to that, and it sounds like an amazing life and experience, and I like just to thank you for this interview, and also you and your father's work and everyone around here of allowing me and everyone else to tap into that part of our history that doesn't get the same type of exposure, but now is getting
I actually feel that we're here not for ourselves, but for letting all the people of Israel, many other believers in the world, to come here and get in touch with the prayer of Hannah and with this place, the place where the tabernacle, the Mishkan was. Because before we came here, was nothing here. Nobody came here. And now there are more than 100,000 people a year that come here to Shiloh from all over the world. From every country that you could think of, there are people that come here. And when I'm here and I see all these people, I'm saying, wow, this is the reason that God brought us here. Because it's not only for us, it's the light of this country, in this place, Shiloh, that goes to all over the world. That's what I think.
Awesome.